Hi kids, this is your friend Achal welcoming you to the RT series by Heaven's Publishing House. This is English series for class 8 children and this is your course book English Skylights by Shikha Sharma. And today we are going to begin with chapter number 6 of your course book, that is Mother's Sacrifice. Ready? Okay. So children, you are going to do this exercise and answer these questions. What are the nice things that you do when your mother is out, right? So you have to write all the nice things that you do when your mother goes out to run some errand or she goes somewhere else. What does she say when she gets to know what you have done, what nice things you have done? And then you will note down all the naughty things that you do when your mother is out, and what does she say when she gets to know what naughty things you have done. So, do this exercise, children, okay? Now, about the lesson. Now, about the lesson, children, this is about the role of mother in our life. It clearly tells about the sacrifices our mother does for us in order to make our life comfortable and beautiful. Children, there is no one like our mother. The sacrifices she makes in order to bring up the child are the most precious ones, right? There is no one like a mother who can sacrifice everything for their children, right? So let's see, listen, one such story. When we hear the word sacrifice, we often think of completely selfless acts in which someone does something for another entirely for the other person's benefit. So, whenever the word sacrifice comes to our mind, we think that a person is selflessly, without thinking about himself, doing something for another person, right? The images of a soldier sacrificing his life for his comrades frequently come to mind. What comes to your mind when you think of sacrifice? It is the image of soldiers who sacrifice their lives for their comrades. What are comrades? Comrades are people who fight on your side. They are on your side while fighting in a war. Right? So these are comrades, and a soldier sacrifices his own life in order to save his friends, his comrades. But sacrifice isn't purely altruistic. What is altruistic? Isn't always selfless, right? It is not always that the sacrifice is selfless. The best definition of sacrifice is this: to forfeit something for something else considered having a greater value. To forfeit means to let go or to lose something that you consider is of lesser value as compared to the other one that you give more value to, right? So, it is with the comparison of value you assign to certain things that you sacrifice. You sacrifice the things that you give less value to and for the things that are more valuable for you. Sacrifice does not mean giving up something for nothing, right? You are not giving up something for nothing. In fact, you are giving up something for some other thing that is of greater value to you. Right? It means giving up one thing for something else we believe is what more is more valuable. This does not at all take away from the virtue of sacrificial acts. It does not take the goodness of the sacrifice with it. Right? Instead of locating the merit of sacrifice instead and unselfishness, right, we can find it in a man's chosen value system. Instead of saying that only a selfless act is a sacrifice, we can find the good in the values of the person he chooses. The value system he chooses, that what thing he values more as compared to the others. So this is how we can look towards the sacrifice. Right? The man who lays down his life for his family or for his comrade has chosen to place more value on their life than on his own. What is more praiseworthy than that? So here you see, children, act is not completely selfless. Here a person is valuing his life more than that of his family members or his comrades, and he thinks it's okay. He thinks it wise enough to lay his own life, to sacrifice his own life that he values less than his peers. Right? What is more praiseworthy than that? This is so much praiseworthy, right? The law of sacrifice says that you cannot get something you want without giving up something in return. In order to attain something you believe is of greater value, you must give up something you believe is of lesser value, right? Understood? So here, what they are saying, that sacrifice means giving up something. That in order to achieve something in life, you must give up something else. That giving up should be of lesser value and must sacrifice that lesser valuable thing for the thing that is more valuable. Okay. Society today tries to deny the law of sacrifice at every turn. Nowadays, people do not believe in sacrificing something of their own in order to achieve something, promising people that they can fulfill their desires without having to forsake anything at all, without having to sacrifice anything at all. They believe, the people these days believe that they can achieve everything without having to forfeit any of their own things. But it is only a fantasy, right? It is only an imagination. There is always a price to pay. According to the author, he says that there is always some price that we have to pay in order to attain something. A sacrifice is a loss or something you give up, usually for the sake of a better. Parents sacrifice time and sleep to take care of their children, while kids might sacrifice TV time to hang out with mom and dad. So they're saying that parents, they sacrifice their sleep and all their time in bringing up their child, bringing up of their child. So the children, what they can do, they can sacrifice their TV time, right? And hang out, spend time with their parents. This is the beauty of the law of sacrifice, right? Give up something of lesser value to get something of greater value. Not only is it the only path to achieving your goals, but the path itself prepares you to handle life at the top. It prepares you for the life, right? The bigger thing is the life that is going to come for you, right? So it prepares, these small sacrifices that you make will prepare you for the life when you are at the top. Okay. Sacrificing not only gets you to your goals, but hones and shapes you as a man along the way. So these sacrifices, they hone you, they refine you, perfect you as a man along the way. You become so refined and a perfect man as you sacrifice along the way. Failing to understand the law of sacrifice also leads to a life of restlessness and regret. When you do not understand the simple law of sacrifice, what you feel in life is restlessness. That means you are never going to find peace and there will be regret. You are going to feel sorry, right? There is a story that tells us the meaning of sacrifice. After an earthquake had subsided, after the earthquake had gone, and the rescuers reached the ruins of a young woman's house. There was a house of a young woman that was shattered because of the earthquake. They saw her dead body through the cracks. They could see that a woman was there, but they were sure that she was dead. The cracks of the house. But her pose in which she was sitting was somehow strange, in that she was kneeling like a person was worshipping. She was kneeling down. She was crouching as if she was worshipping. Her body was leaning forward and her two hands were supported by an object, right? Her two hands, they were supported by something. The collapsed house had crashed her back and her head. The house had crushed her back and her head. Okay. With so many difficulties, the leader of the rescue team put his hand through a narrow gap of the wall to reach the woman's body. So, in order to check whether she still might be alive or not, the person, what they did, they tried to put their hand through a narrow gap in the wall and check whether the woman is alive or not. He was hoping that this woman could still be alive. However, the cold and sick body told him that she had passed away or sure. However, the body of that young woman was very, very cold and stiff, right? So that indicates that she had passed away. She was no more. He and the rest of the team left his house and were going to search the next collapsed building. Now they left that house as they saw that the young woman was dead. So they continued to search the next collapsed house. But for some reason, the team leader was driven by a compelling force. He was driven by this urge to go back to that previous ruined house of the dead woman. He went back to her house. Again, he knelt down and used his hand through the narrow cracks to search the little space under the dead body. Now, something came to his mind. He went back and again he put his hand through the narrow gap of the wall and checked underneath the dead body. Suddenly, he screamed. He shouted with excitement. A child! There is a child. There was a child underneath the dead body of the young woman. It was her 3-month-old son. The whole team worked together carefully. They removed the piles of ruined objects around the dead woman. Carefully, they started removing all the piles of ruins that were there near the dead woman. There was a 3-month-old little boy wrapped in a flowery blanket under his mother's dead body, right? Obviously, the woman had made an ultimate sacrifice for saving her son. Here we can see that the mother, she took everything upon herself. She did all she could to save the little boy, to save his son. She sacrificed her own life, but saved her son. When her house was falling, she used her body to make a cover to protect her son. She covered her son. The little boy was still sleeping peacefully when the team leader picked him up. The little boy was fine and he was sleeping when the team leader picked the boy up. Right? The medical doctor came quickly to examine the little boy. After he opened the blanket, he saw a cell phone inside the blanket. There was a mobile phone inside the blanket of the child. There was a text message on the screen. What did it read? It said, "If you survive, you must remember that I love you." Right? That message on the phone read that, "My son, if you survive this, if you come out alive, then you must remember that your mother loved you, that I love you." Okay, this cell phone was passing around from one hand to another. Everybody that read the message wept. People got so emotional with this message that they started crying over it. "If you can survive, you must remember that I love you," were the last words her mother wrote for her child. Such is the mother's love for her child, right? We can only say that never ever hate anyone for their disability, right? We must Never ever hate anyone for any of their shortcomings. Never disrespect your parents. Don't ignore and underestimate their sacrifices. We should always love and respect our parents for the sacrifices they have made for us. They give us life. They raise us better than they themselves had been. These parents, they try to give you all the comforts that they themselves have never seen in their lives, and they give and keep trying to give you better than they ever had. They try to give things that they have never had in their lives. They try to give you a better life than theirs. They never wish unwell for the kids, even in their wildest dreams. Even in the dreams, they can never wish anything bad happening to their children. They always try showing the right path and being a motivator. They always try to motivate you for the right things in life, right? Parents give up all for their kids, forgive all mistakes made by the kids. They sacrifice so much for their kids, and also they always forgive their children for whatever mistakes they made. There is no way to repay what they did for us, right? All we can do is try giving what they need. What is it that they need, children? Is your time, love, and respect. Give your time to your parents, love them, hang out with them, spend quality time with them, because this is all that you can do to repay for all the sacrifices they have done in their life. So what you can do is give your time, love, and respect to your parents. Right, children? Did you keep this in mind? Okay, good. Now, what is the moral that you learn from the children? Have you ever wondered why baby seems to prefer the touch and comfort of his mother over that of his father? Why a baby is more comfortable with a mother than that of a father? It is due to that natural bond the child has with his mother even before he takes birth, right? When a child is in the womb of a mother, he has this connection with the mother even before he was born. A mother plays a very important role in a child's life, as she is the protector, guide, and philosopher of him or her. So we must always love and respect our mother, right? She is the person get who can do anything to protect you, right? She can sacrifice her life for you, right? Clear? Now let's start doing the tick the correct answer. Okay? Number one, sacrifice means, what does sacrifice mean, children? It is a selfless act, right? So, see. Number two, the dash had subsided when the rescue team came. What was the natural disaster that the author had talked about in the chapter? The earthquake, right? Number three, what was written in the text message by the mother? Text message said that remember that I love you. So, I love you was the text message. Give that to your parents. What is it that you can give to your parents? Give love. They do not need your money, right? They need love. The medical doctor examined the 3-month-old boy. The baby boy was 3 months old. Clear? Good. Now, fill in the blank with an appropriate alternative out of the given words, right? So, let's fill up all these sentences. Now, number one says, the small child was found under the dash body of his mother. So, his mother was dead. It was under the dead body of his mother. Right? After the dash, rescue team found the dead body of a young woman after the earthquake. Right? So, earthquake. Correct? Number three, we should give that to our parents. We should give time to our parents. So, time. Number four, we should never hate anyone for their disability. Right? For their disability. Here, number five, the collapsed house had dashed her head. So her head was crushed. Right? Parents dash time and sleep to take care of their children. Parents sacrifice their sleep and their time. Okay? Number seven, the leader of the rescue team put his hand through a narrow gap in the wall. Clear to all of you? Let's move on. Okay. Now, let's begin with true or false. Number one says, the rescue team saw the little boy sleeping in a flowery blanket. Yes, true, right? Number two, rescuers saw a young woman's dead body through the cracks. Yes, they saw a young woman's dead body. So again, true. Number three, we cannot repay what our parents have done for us. Yes, we can never repay them. True. Number four, the tenth was missing. This is irrelevant. Let's take that one. Number five, the boy was found dead with his mother. No, he was very much alive and sleeping peacefully. This is false. Right, children? Let's begin the question and answer. Number one, what do you mean by sacrifice? What do you mean by sacrifice, children? Sacrifice means letting go or forfeiting something that you give lesser value to in order to achieve something that is of greater value, right? किसी और का है क्या फोन? मैम तो नहीं बोल रही मिनी मैम. अच्छा. Number two, we should never disrespect our parents. Explain these words. So children, we must always and always respect our parents for all the sacrifices they have made for us. They have sacrificed their time, right? They have sacrificed their sleep for us. So we must always love and respect and must never, never disrespect them. Okay? What can we do for our parents? To repay our parents, what we can do is we can give them our time, our love and respect. That is all they need from us, right? Number four, what did the rescue team find under the dead body of the mother? They found a 3-month-old boy sleeping in a flowery blanket under the dead body of the young woman, right? Number five, what do you learn from this story? We learn that a mother's sacrifice is the ultimate. She doesn't think twice for giving up her life for her children. So, sacrifice is not always a selfless act. It is something you do. You forfeit in order to achieve something that is of greater value to you. Right? Clear, children? So, I hope this lesson is all clear to you, children. I hope you had fun learning with me. So I'll see you guys with the next chapter. Till then, bye bye.